We are all in exile together now. Karine Jean-Pierre is answering the hostile media going completely nuts on her evasion and cover-up of the Hunter Biden texts with the Chinese Communist Party.
Why the president decided to invite us.
I'm just not going to get into family discussion, personal family discussion.
Hey, we don't talk about the family. It has nothing to do with anything else. If he wasn't a member of the family, we'd be talking about it.
As you know, Hunter is his son. I'm just not going to get into it.
Let me ask you this. If Hunter Biden wasn't the president's son, would he have invited someone who had just reached a plea agreement with federal prosecutors 2 days earlier?
A couple of things. Again, that's his son.
How does that change anything? That's his son, so this is not news.
He's a family member. It is not uncommon for family members to attend events at the White House. You could look at past presidents. I'm sure you have. So that is not uncommon. As it relates to anything related to Hunter, I'm just not going to respond to it from here.
If it has to do with his son, we're not going to talk about it.
Can I follow up on that?
I just called in somebody. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Kirby wouldn't answer James's question, though. Are you going to answer the question? I mean, not a reasonable question to ask, whether the President of the United States was involved, as this message seems to suggest, in some sort of a coercive conversation for business dealings by his son. I mean, is that something, if he wasn't, then maybe you should tell us.
So here's the thing, and I appreciate the question. I believe my colleague at the White House Counsel has answered this question already, has dealt with this, has made it very clear.
No, zoop, you know nothing. Zoop.
Text message.
What I can tell you is I know that my colleague has dealt with this. He addressed this at the White House Counsel. I just don't have anything else to share.
The press. Oh, the White House Counsel answered this already. None of us remember when they answered it, but we'll just have to take your word for it.
I just answered the question. I just answered the question.
No, you didn't. Yes or no, was the president involved in the shakedown attempt?
Stephen, I just answered the question. It's not up to you how I answer the question. I just answered the question by telling you my colleagues at the White House Counsel has dealt with this, and I would refer you to them.
And can you just remind us what your colleague said from the White House Counsel so we have it?
I would refer you to them, and they will share their statement with all of you.
I swear he answered this before. You guys don't remember, and I don't remember. No one remembers him answering it, but this was answered already by White House Counsel.
Your statements from that podium, you've stated that the president stands by his comment from the 2020 campaign that he never once discussed his son's overseas business dealings with his son. And you stood at that podium and you reaffirmed that. Do you stand by your reaffirmation?
What I will say is nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And I will leave it there. Anything else, I will refer you to the White House Counsel.
My answer is they answered.
This is not a change?
I just answered the question. You just asked me, does my statement change? I just told you nothing has changed. That's answering the question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The president was there 2 days
Go ahead,
prior.
Stephen. I'm calling on your colleague right now. Go ahead.
Thank you. To follow up on my colleague, is there anything that you can say with regard to this text message and what the president's son was alleging? Was the president there or not?
I would refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel.
I'm not even going to repeat what they said when they answered. She's all, can you please clarify? What? I don't remember. What did they say? She goes, you can refer to them.
Karine, have you spoken to the president about this? Have you asked him whether he was there with his son on July 30th?
This is not a conversation that I've had with the president. Again, I would refer you to the White House Counsel.
Hunter who? I never heard of this Hunter Biden guy. In fact, I don't even know who Joe Biden is. Who? Who was in the room?
To have that conversation with the president?
No.
I've never talked to him. I don't even know who you're talking about. The president? President who? Who's the president? I don't know.
Did the president speak with the attorney general at all last night?
You've never talked to him? Really? About this? That's kind of strange. Wouldn't that be some kind of dereliction of duty that you never talked to him about the accusations of his son, Hunter? Really? You never once brought it up?
I cannot say if the president had had a conversation with the attorney general last night. What I can refer you to is the White House Counsel's office as it relates to the allegations.
Yeah, go ask them. I swear they gave a really good answer.
Reporting earlier in the week that after the plea agreement was reached by Hunter Biden that the president felt relieved that that part of it was behind him. Is that true? Can you speak
I can't
to his
speak to that.
mindset?
I cannot speak to the president's mindset.
I can't speak to the president's mindset either. I will, so I'll venture to guess he's a decomposing vegetable and has nothing to say and has no thoughts. However, this press secretary has no interest in communicating any kind of truth to these people in the media or to you. I'm Doug in Exile. Ring that bell.